Friends, can you believe it? We have a new president, Joe Biden. 4 years was definitely a long time. And I remember 4 years ago, I woke up in the middle of the night with a nightmare. And to be honest, it was because I already knew he was a celebrity just acting. And he literally acted like a horrible leader for the last 4 years. It's very unfortunate for America. Friends, we're going to talk about 4 things related to immigration that President Biden is already doing on day one. And that's related to the new bill that everyone's been talking about, the Muslim travel ban, the what's going on with deportations, and also how he's trying to stop any regulations that President Trump tried to sneak in right before he left office yesterday. If you were like me, enjoyed the concert from the inauguration celebration last night, I thought it was wonderful. I hope you enjoyed it. Friends, tomorrow on Friday, 1 p.m. Central Time here in Texas, we are going to have a Q&A session. You're welcome to ask me any questions. I'll do my best to answer them. Again, if you'd like to appear on the show, you can click the link to join the broadcast. But if you only want to ask a question and not appear on the actual show, that's completely fine. You can submit a comment. So stay all the way to the end so you can get all information related to immigration because it's going to be a busy month. But hey, we got work to do. Let's get on with the show. The first thing is a Citizenship Act of 2021. We've been all waiting for the introduction of this. We've had bits and pieces of it throughout the past couple months. And to reassure you, we discussed this before, but it is a path to citizenship for people who have DACA currently and also TPS, and also possibly for farm workers. Now they can apply, people who have that status can apply for residency outright, straight for it. Then after 3 years of that, then they can apply to become a citizen. Now for people who do not have DACA and do not have TPS and not a farm worker, for example, what they say right now, according to their fact sheet, and we'll show it to you in a second, is that you have to apply for a temporary visa, essentially. Passed in 2013, they call it a registered provisional status. So essentially a temporary status. And so that would be for 5 years. And then after the completion of 5 years, then you can apply for the residency. And then so same thing. After 3 years of residency, then you can apply to become a citizen. So that's why they call it about an 8-year process. But of course, it will actually be a lot longer because of the processing time. Now let me show the fact sheet that they provided to the public here. And you can see that what they want to do, number one, is to restore humanity to the immigration system. So the first thing we discussed about is to provide pathways to citizenship and to residency. In a separate video, we'll go into more detail of the rest of the fact sheet. On Saturday, the other points related to the fact sheet. Part of it is to also help strengthen controls in the Central American countries so that those countries can help themselves. But a lot of money would be going to support those to stop the migration from Central American countries to America. So hopefully that will appease the conservative base. The second thing I want to share with you is that we've been all waiting for the Muslim travel ban to be reversed. And he finally did that. President Biden was able to sign that yesterday as one of his, I believe, 15 executive actions. Talk about a lot of work on day one. We want to share the accurate information with you, and we'll also share what it shows on the Department of State website. Now you can see here at the very top, proclamation ending discriminatory bans on entry to the United States. Want to include this as part of the bill so that there will be no future discriminatory ban. So they give a quick summary on why they want to restore this, basically freedom to enter the United States. Of course, you have a visa. It does mention that the Secretary of State shall direct all embassies and consulates to follow the visa processing procedures. So that's very important. That's very useful to know because I know that a lot of you in general and out there are fans are watching to hear the news if the immigrant visa interviews will resume, and including, of course, for the fiance visas. So I like what I see here. This is a really good direction. Can't say that this is exactly related to all immigrant visas, but this is to help in general related to the Muslim travel ban. But the fact that they put this, that directing all embassies and consulates to basically follow, of course, to reopen, but also to follow health and safety protocols because of the pandemic. So that's good. I mentioned this in yesterday's video that USCIS interviews, marriage interviews in the United States at USCIS field offices, they resumed that back in August 2020. So if they're able to do that, why can't they implement the same safety measures. For example, installing the plastic panels between the immigration officer and the applicant, right? So if they can do that in the U.S., they can do that abroad as well. So again, this one is specifically related to the Muslim travel bans. And this also includes them needing to review this extra form called 5535 because under President Trump, they were requiring people to provide all their social media handles, all your profile information, basically. And so I haven't heard anyone negatively affect them. However, I really don't think that's necessary. So now I'm showing you the website from the Department of State, travel.state.gov. This shows specifically the two different proclamations that under President Trump that he signed for the Muslim travel ban. There's two because the second one added 6 more countries. And this shows all the 13 countries that were subject to the ban: Burma, Eritrea, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, Libya, Nigeria, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Tanzania, and Venezuela, and Yemen will now no longer be subject to the Muslim travel ban. So that's great news for people from those countries. President Biden has said that they're putting a 100-day pause on deportations. That's very significant. I don't believe I remember hearing about that under President Obama. But what they're trying to justify this is to review any and all policies and procedures related really to the border because of the health and safety protocols. They just don't want to just send people back that quickly without reviewing everything, which is very considerate, actually. This is interesting because this is very helpful because this will direct immigration judges to basically probably reschedule court hearings, private attorneys' opportunity to coordinate with the Department of Homeland Security attorneys on what's going on with your case. It's to save everyone time, save a trip from going to court if you really don't need to. Again, the 100-day pause on deportations will really help a lot of people. That's at least 3 months and about 10 days. What this likely also means is that people who are subject to the asylum protocols, for example, the MPP, Migrant Protection Protocols, people who do enter the United States in the next 100 days, they won't be forced to return to Mexico and wait there for the court hearing. So this is really, really amazing news for people applying for asylum. Let me share my screen to show you the memo that was issued yesterday. Okay, so you see it was signed on January 20th. The senior official performing duties of the Customs Border Protection, also to ICE and also USCIS. And this is from the Acting Secretary, David Pekoski. They're going to conduct a review of policies and practices concerning immigration enforcement, which also includes a 100-day pause on certain removals to help the department's resources where they're needed the most. So this also includes reviewing national security, border security, and public safety. Specific to the immediate 100-day pause on removals, this also helps people where ICE agents just show up to people's residence, their apartment or house. I just heard about a couple weeks ago that ICE agents were just still continuing to show up at people's homes and take them, remove them from the home. So it's, of course, pretty ridiculous, but that's why this is great news to hear about this 100-day pause. And what they're doing, their specific criteria is this applies to people, non-citizens currently in the U.S. who have a final order of removal, except for people who, of course, have engaged in or suspected of terrorism. Oh, that's interesting. And espionage or otherwise pose a danger to national security or not physically present in the U.S. before November 1st, 2020. So it's not a complete ban, but so if you don't qualify, if you weren't here before November 1st, 2020, then you would be considered to be subject to removal still. Or if you have voluntarily waived your rights to remain in the U.S. And unfortunately, some people still do that because they don't qualify for actual relief for the big picture to get a green card or just get out of, then some people, sign a voluntary departure or agree to that. Now, the fourth thing I want to share with you is a regulatory freeze on the pending regulations that have not made it to be published as a final rule. So I'm going to share that website with you so you have the accurate information. All right. So this is coming out from the White House yesterday, January 20th. Regulatory freeze pending review. Essentially, first of all, this is from Ronald Klain, Assistant to the President and Chief of Staff. Essentially, you may have heard that there were several actions taken by President Trump trying to push that to be finalized before Biden took office. So any of them that were not finalized as a final rule, published as a final rule, those will be held and frozen essentially before it is actually published. The basis of this is that a broad measure here: health, safety, environmental, financial, and or national security matters. Those are the reasons that are asking for these to be paused until each new head of agency have the opportunity to review whether they should move forward with it or not. And so they're asking any postponed take place for 60 days from yesterday. It's also saying that after the 60-day delay from the effective date, if there's any rules that raise no legal issue with the law or policy, that they can continue to be published as a final rule. Some things that come in mind that could be at issue and subject to this freeze is the visa bond Trump signed, because related to nationals of countries who overstayed their visitor visa. And the payment amount is different for every country, and not every country is subject to that pilot program of the visa bond. We have a separate video about that from a couple weeks ago. I look forward to more news about this. Friends, that wraps it up today. Those are 4 items we want to share with you real quick as soon as possible. Hopefully this information is helpful to you. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe down below, smash the like button, and comment below. Let us know what you're thinking, if you believe any of this will be helpful, especially the 100-day pause on a deportation. I think that would be very helpful for a lot of people. We greatly appreciate if you can share our video to people you know that have an immigration question.